Hello, everyone. Hello, students and audiences. Again, we are back with a very exciting webinar as we come every time. I request everybody to subscribe the channel and also put on the notification bell so you get industry standard webinar information on your phone and you don't miss anything. So, talking about today's webinar, I have an exciting guest with us, that is Vichar BN sir. So, Vichar BN sir is basically a renowned sculptor, a fine artist, and he is also a digital sculptor. So, a veteran in the industry, uh, he has more than 20 years of experience in the industry, and he's currently working as an art director in Technicolor, and also he has been awarded in many aspects from government of India. He has been recognized as ZBrush master in the international world community. It's a big honor to be a ZBrush master. In Web Summit, he has been affiliated by government of India. He has been awarded by Karnataka State Award of digital sculpting and fine art sculpting. He's one of the most influential personality when it comes to sculpting and ZBrush sculpting specifically. So it's my honor, without wasting time, to invite Vichar BN sir on the stage. Vichar BN sir, a very good evening and absolutely thank you for your time to give our students, our audience on digital sculpting. Welcome, sir.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me, and I would like to thank Framebox for organizing such a great event and sharing the light on the industry and the journey of the industry, what's happening currently, and how we are using the tools, and really great initiative. And I'm really excited to be part of this, and I'm really looking forward to share my journey as well as the tips and tricks with the students. So yeah, thanks for the deep introduction, and let me dive in a little bit and share my journey, how I
Sure.
started, and how I got into this industry so that everyone understand, and then later I will show how to use traditional art into digital art. How do you translate that to digital art, and what all things you should keep in mind. Today's session will be more on mind sculpting. It's about how do you think artistically. It's not
Sure,
about
sir.
just sculpting. It's about how do you think creatively. That is very important to stand out, or to have your own style. I think this is very important, what I've learned over the period. So further, I
Yes, sir.
will.
Sure, sir.
Can you see my
Pleasure having you, sir. You can take the stage over, sir.
yeah, can you see my screen now, what I'm sharing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give you a little deep dive in my journey. I was born and brought up in Mysore, the heritage city, where I was very much inspired from very early age. And I used to go to the Mysore Palace, and I used to see a lot of wonderful architecture. I always got inspired from that, and I used to see a lot of great artists like Ravi Verma, S.M. Pandit, Venkatappa. Those are the court artists. I used to see their work, and I used to always get inspired. And I always used to think that one day I need to paint like that. I need to, do a sculpture like that. So the passion towards art started in a very early age, and I was very clear that I want to pursue my, journey in art. So I think Mysore really helped me to shape up, or it really helped me to you know get into the zone of art because of the culture over there. So what happened was, over a period I was inspired from all the architecture. Like this is a Hoysala art. It was built in 13th century, where I was really impressed with the way the sculptors used to tell a story using the sculptures. So the way they use the paneling, and this is called lata pattikes, the panels where entire Mahabharata or this thing. So I was very much inspired the way they used to tell a story. This is called Drost effect, the story inside a story. Like example, it'll be like Vishnu sculpture, a main temple, and every story of Vishnu is being sculpted around on the surface. So I was very uh, very interested in the way the ancient builders used to use the entire storytelling into the next level. So I want to take this storytelling into next level. So I did my BFA and masters in uh, college called Chamarajendra Academy of Visual Arts, where I did my masters in sculpting. That in those period I used to learn a lot of anatomy, still life drawing. I used to spend a lot of time mastering the art. It's called Karatala Malaka. It's a Sanskrit word where you translate from mind to hand coordination. So I spend a lot of time, because traditional is the base for any digital art or any art you create. uh, the foundation is traditional art. So I used to spend a lot of hours doing gesture study, in sitting in the bus stand or railway station, sketching people. So I used to spend a lot of time in those days. So these are my couple of my master's degree sculpt. One of the work was selected for national award also in 2007, and I was inspired from Indian mythology. So this is also where I started moving towards storytelling, where I what I learned from childhood. I was referring back to those Lata Pattikes, right? When I say Mahabharata, then you'll remember Draupadi, and entire Mahabharata is wrapped around her, right? So I wanted to tell a meaningful story. I believe your sculpture should help, or your artwork should help in developing the society, or I wanted to give a message through my artwork. So every time when I create any artwork, there will be a message for the art lovers or art fraternity. So I wanted to depict, when Mahabharata means it's about Draupadi, but still, if you all know the story, because of they keep Draupadi in the game, the dice game, and the Pandavas will lose the entire game, and the whole story changes. But even though in 21st century we never respect women, still gambling is happening on, and wanted to use all this contemporary what is happening with mythology stories. So this is one of the work, life size work, what you're seeing on my screen. So I wanted to depict entire story here, and usually that came up in mind when we talk about some person, right? If you're talking about a person, so we'll say, hey, he is like that. We'll start building a character, or we'll start wrapping around a story around that person. Hey, he is very angry, or he is this, he is that, or she is that. So we'll start wrapping around the story, right? So that was really fascinating for me, and I started using the wrapping around the story, Drost effect, story inside a story. So that is where I started playing with different surfaces, different medium, and the other one is it's called Desire. It's based on Ramayan, where desire leads to destruction, right? So far mountain looks greener. So when you chase behind desire, you see the odd or the evil side of it. So that was the story in Ramayan, which I really loved it. So this is a zoo anthropomorphic form of Maricha coming out of the deer, golden deer. If you see closer by on the surface, you see entire Ramayan is being depicted. Like when you go around, it's called Pradakshana, or when you take a turn around, you'll see strips of animation, or it could be like a comic strips. So according to me, storytelling was used very well in our Indian architecture and Indian sculpture. So that's what pushed me towards animation. So once again, this is one more sculpt called Enlighten One. So this is I was studying Dokra casting. I don't know how many of you know about Dokra casting. It's done in the coil like a noodles of wax, and then you sculpt with a husk, wheat husk and clay. You build a core, and top of that you start wrapping around the coils. So this is the life story of Buddha. The four stages of Buddha have been depicted on this, and face is the index of the mind, right? So when you speak, if you see near the mouth there are deer, animals used to listen to the Buddha, and when you see and when you hear a person, you should change. You could see both the ear. There is Angulimal and Mara who transformed from hearing his preach actually. And in the forehead you could see, in recently in the science also they say that there are a lot of scientific research has been done to find out the aura around a person. So in the literature they have mentioned that Buddha had wide range of aura where people used to get divine experience. So I wanted to use all those literatures and whatever this thing was there, convert into sculpture. So I was exploring a lot of this kind of storytelling using literature, using motifs, and sorry, excuse me. Literature and symbolism, because India is known for telling story using those motifs, symbolism. So last for me, Ushnisha used to, or the turban of Buddha, it looks like a Bodhi Vruksh where he got enlightened. It's a quite old photograph. I don't have much detail on this one. And after completing that, I was very much inspired how the sculptor used to capture motion in a sculpture. I don't know how many of you have seen this Badami caves, dancing Shiva, where you could do 92 poses, with different hand combination. It's like an trial, or if you've seen Bruce Lee doing a nunchuck with a slow motion, you see the trial, right? That kind of a thing was captured in the stone. I was really mesmerized the way the sculptor has depicted this. So you could see this as an example. So I was like, wow, this is something really great, the way the sculptor has captured. Like in nowadays it's very easy using onion skin, or you can do a trail, but getting in a sculpture and telling the entire story and the motion, and every angle of the sculpture, or when you do a combination it becomes a different pose. So in one sculpture the sculptor is trying to tell a, a huge story, or the huge motion in that. So that was really fascinating for me. So then like I was exploring a lot of things in traditional sculpting, and after completing my masters, I got an opportunity. This is the Mysore Palace, where the first spark of I wanted to be an artist started from here. So I got an call from the king of Mysore, where this was my boss, late Srikandatta Vadayar, and that was my first office where I worked as a personal sculptor for the king of Mysore. And he gave me opportunity. He brought me to from Mysore to Bangalore, and that's where my digital journey started actually. So I worked a couple of sculpture to late Srikandatta Vadayar. This is one of the sculpture what I did. It's done in plaster of Paris. So let me go back. So that's where I wanted to tell a story, or I wanted to take my skill to the very next level. So that's where I was exposed to digital art, where I was really what to say, how do I put this, it was like alluring god for me, where like aham brahma, what they say, right? So where you create your character, give life, and your character will talk and move. So that was really fascinating for me, and Then I got an opportunity. Uh, the company which I'm working now, previously called Paprikas. So when I wanted to join there, they gave me a test, and I learned Maya in 1 week of time, because for me, art was not a problem. For me, was just to understand the tool, or how the 3D works in digital world. So within a week, I learned that, and self-taught, self-learned, and did a test over there, and then got into an art test, and from there my journey started. So while I was doing my as an artist, I was learning different software, and for me the difficulty was, like in digital art, it's about art as illusion. So it's 3D, but it's not 3D. How do you break that? How do you get that visualization right, the depth and everything? So that was the struggle which initially I was going through, and I got to explore ZBrush long back, where it was very limited tools was there. And someone said me that, hey, this is something very interesting software. So that's where I got into ZBrush, and from there, the experience and the journey was really great, because the clay which never dries. Because if you have used clay, you know that you have to maintain the wetness, you have to close the clay. It's very hard to maintain. So I was really happy, the kind of exploration I was able to do with digital sculpting. So I always say that, the clay which never dries. So any point of time I can go, and any amount of detail, if I required, I could add to that. So that's where I was doing that, and I was exposed to Western art, where I started learning more anatomy. Because in our industry, what happens in digital industry is, like, you need to know very good anatomy. That is a very important thing to be an artist. If you're taking your career as a character artist or a concept artist, or even though for other departments also, better to have a knowledge of anatomy if you are animator also, because that is very important, key element for an artist. So I started studying great masters. So while studying the Western art, so that's where I love the concept of spiral composition. I'm not talking about much about spiral composition, but I'll show a couple of reference in the later stage. But the way they, like a coil, they tell a story, and so much interesting. And same subject, three different artists working in the same, in a different period, but the way they've told the story was really interesting. So I was inspired from Michelangelo, Bernini, David, the work called David, and I was really moved from the kind of anatomy and the kind of detail, the play of light on the sculpture. So I started using those techniques from the great masters. That's why, as a student, when you're learning, always it's better to replicate great masters work, so you learn a lot. I did that initial stages, where I used to replicate great masters, because you learn a lot from them. So this is also one more example where the same subject, Pieta, and a different artist approaching the same subject in a different way. You could see the different composition, different way of storytelling, and it's the same subject, but you could tell the story in a very different way. So that was really interesting for me, in terms of in one sculpture you could tell a lot of story. So started using those learnings through my sculptures. So this is one of my sculpture called Karma. So I wanted to sculpt karma. It's always tough, right? When you see, think about karma, how do you sculpt a karma? So I was inspired from Greco-Roman sculptures, where this is called contrapposta pose, where about action is going to take place, or action is just happened. So I was inspired from Bernini sculpture of David. So I wanted to depict karma. How do I show karma? So I was, thinking about it, and so what is karma, right? What goes around comes around. So I wanted to use that story into my sculpture. So do good, you'll get back good. Be humble to an artist, you'll grow further. So this is the message which I wanted to give here. And so it's like a boomerang, right? When you throw a boomerang, it comes back to you. So do good, you'll get back good. As an artist, be humble, you get back those rewards. So that's what I request all the students. As an artist, be humble, and you'll get back those rewards for you. So here, what was the challenge was the anatomy, the kind of twist. You could see that it's like twisting, right? The leg is twisted, the hip is twisted, and you have to get that emotion, you have to get that right weight. So for me, you don't get much of reference in online, but my studies, what I did initially, learning sketching, gestures and everything, that really helped me out to fill in the gaps of wherever the anatomy reference you're not getting it. So that really helped me to get this further, refine the anatomy and everything. So this is one more sculpt called balance of life, where in life it's not easy, right? It's very hard. It's like driving on a unicycle. To balance, it's very tough. Once you learn how to balance the unicycle, it's very easy. But very few people can master the life or balance the life. So I wanted to use sports and life related and tell a story. So life is all about balancing. How well you balance, so good your life will be. So just wanted to use this. And here also you could see a lot of efforts being put to study the anatomy, and make sure that I spend a lot of time. I'm not a big fan of adding too many details, but for me is form, shapes. There is a term called in Shilpa Shastra, six principles, Shadanga, what they call it as Shadanga. So I have used all those elements here. That's what helped me, because whatever I have learned in my early college days, I spent a lot of time learning the traditional art, the Shadanga, and Navarasa. I don't know how many of you have heard those terms, but Navarasa is very important, and many of the greater movies. That's a big subject actually. If you're talking about Navarasa, it's a big subject. But Navarasa has been used in all the movies or in games also, because every Navarasa has different colors, different emotion. So as an animator, or as an artist, I recommend you should learn all those things. It's very helpful, so that you can use in your day-to-day artworks. So as I was doing sports related to life, so I was inspired from kabaddi. I don't know how many of you played kabaddi. You know the kabaddi rules, right? You need to stop the opponent to reach the goal, right? But I wanted to flip flop and show the concept to the real life, and in an abstract manner. So what happens is, when someone is growing, there will be several people to stop you, right? Obstacle to success, it's called obstacles to success. So I wanted to give a message, when as an artist, please encourage, help someone to reach the goal, rather than demotivating them, and delaying them from their goal. So as an artist, it's our responsibility to push each other to reach the goal. So if you have that kind of a culture, if you have that kind of a mindset, I think our art fraternity will grow higher and higher, and every artist will get the right platform. So I request all the students, start encouraging, start supporting, rather than this is not nice work, or don't pull someone, or deviate from their goal. So encourage, help them to grow. So that is the message which I wanted to give here. And this is one more sculpt which I was inspired from McDonald, a great sculptor, where he used ballet and everything. Or I wanted to use that style and create my own sculptures. So this is called balance of love and trust. So it's about two person balance. It could be any relation. So it's you blindly believe in another person. Anyone misbalance it, the whole relation gets spoiled. So it's about balancing act. How do you balance the relation, right? So I wanted to use that. And it's not easy to balance it out. It's not a flat ground. It's a very you are kept in an very our world is more of a very limited square or a box kind of a thing. We always put a chalk circle, or we keep it our own self very in one smaller place. So balancing in that, balancing with those relations, it's very tough. So wanted to use this, tell a story using that. And this is one of my favorite artwork called peace. So peace has a two meanings, right? One is peace means the paper pieces, and the piece is real peace. So I wanted to use that word and create a sculpture. So it's done in multiple pieces. It's a ZBrush sculpt, guys. No texture, nothing. It's all manually sculpted. All the corrugated sheets has been sculpted. So I wanted to create Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama is known for the peace, right? How when all the peace comes together, all people come together, then it becomes peace, right? So when all the join together, it becomes an artwork. So I wanted to use play of word in my sculpture. So this is one of the sculpt which I did in ZBrush. And this is once again done for beta test in ZBrush, where newly cloth simulation was created, but I wanted to use that tool in a different way. So I wanted to depict Marilyn Monroe. She was when she died, her she became in news in the Hollywood. So I used those paper mache style to create this. Every paper is a sculpt, and every hair is been sculpted in ZBrush, or using those dynamic thing. So I wanted to if you see why I'm telling all this story is because further when I show you in ZBrush and everything, it'll help you a lot to understand. So this is all what I'm doing is what I've learned in my college, or I'm trying to mimic or replicate, or the tactileness of what I did in traditional art. I'm trying to get the same thing in digital art. I'm using digital as a tool to tell a story. So this one was very early work of mine, where I was inspired from Norman Rockwell. I don't know how many of you have heard about him. If you've not, please go see his illustration. It's beautiful. So I was inspired from him, and this is called Haircut on a Sunday. I don't know if you have taken your nephew, or if you have a kids, if you have taken your kids for first time for a haircut, the kind of the tantrum or the kind of experience, I wanted to capture that in my sculpture. uh, you know uh, it was a wonderful experience when I took my son first time for the haircut. So I wanted to use that illustration manner into my sculpture. And this is all one of my beta works which I've done for ZBrush. So the first one, what you're seeing here, I was very much inspired. I don't know, nowadays you don't get much of calendars. In early when I was young, uh, we used to get Vival ladies calendars. So I used to get I need to paint like that, I need to sculpt something like that. I was inspired once. I had been to Salarjung Museum, where there is a beautiful sculpture of Wevel lady. So I wanted to get that, kind of Wevelness in my sculpture. So this was one this thing, and Bollywood is known for rain dance, rain song. So added that flavor, Bollywood flavor to this. So this was done in the beta time. The other one is Lady with the Lamp. I was inspired from Haldalkar painting. I don't know how many of you have seen a lady holding a lamp like this, and the whole light has been falling on the thing, and it's a wonderful work. If you've not seen, just Google out and see Lady with the Lamp. The artist name is called Haldalkar. So I was inspired from that. So I wanted to create my own version of it. This is the same thing, and every cloth detail is been hand sculpted. So for me, I don't take any shortcut. I always love to enjoy every process. Uh, this is one of my favorite, very favorite sculpture called ego. So when I say ego, it's very hard to sculpt an ego, right? So how do you show an ego? How do you tell a story in a sculpture? How do you show ego? So once I was thinking about it, and ego is like a kite, right? Higher you go, the ego goes higher, right? So always they say, keep low, stay grounded, be humble. So that is the message which I wanted to say here. When you when you fly too higher, or when your ego gets higher and higher, it may get cut. So you may get disconnected. You may get kept away from the your circle. So this is the why I've used kids here, is because we in the very early age implant those ego. Like we always do comparison, right? Oh, you are better than that person. We start building that ego. So as an artist, we shouldn't develop that kind of an ego where I am better than this artist, I am better than that artist. That ego, the three word, will kill you as an artist. So always be humble, fly low, and enjoy the process. So this is one of the sculpt which I did. This is for one of my favorite artists, Pablo. You would have seen a lot of tutorial of him. So he started a online class called ZBrush Guides. So he created multiple clay looking brushes. So he wanted me to give a try and come up with some artwork. So this was one of my artwork called Rocket Boy. I'm sure everyone has a big dream in a younger age and not worrying about anything. So always focus, and that is very important. As a child, you need to dream, and over a period we forget our aim. So I wanted to use that, be always focus with what you have dreamt for, live for that. So this is something when I was doing digital sculpture, I was thinking like, hey, why no one does like a plaster of Paris sculpture, like plaster of Paris in digital? So this is the experiment which I did in ZBrush, where I mimicked plaster of Paris. This is a Joker movie character. And same, once again, I wanted to uh, I really loved the character and the kind of anatomy, so I just wanted to get that in my sculpture. So this is very early work of mine. It's called Smoking Beauty, but I was inspired from Harappa Mohenjo-daro, the dancing girl, a small dancing girl. The historian says that after a performance she is taking a rest or enjoying her me time. So I wanted to depict the same thing in my own way. So I used this subject, and I wanted to show that me time, and she's lost in her own thought. Like I was talking about the emotions, right? I wanted to depict that with the facial expression, the body language. So everything is hand sculpted, even the stockings what you see, it's all hand sculpted. So I have done I think tips and tricks for ZBrush. You could see it in YouTube. How do you create this kind of lace? So this is the sculpture which I got inspired from. And this is once again inspired from Degas. if you've seen impression artist, where he does ballet dance work. So when I was doing a beta test for ZBrush, that time, first time they bought Sculptis Pro and inside the ZBrush, so it was a balancing act between Sculptis Pro and ZBrush. So if you see that, I've used Sculptis Pro logo and ZBrush logo, and it's a balancing act like a ballet. So very well balanced, actually. The software was very well balanced. So if you see, I always, with sculpture, I always develop a story and use those things. And it was very tough to get those anatomy, the body movement, body weight, everything to balance. But luckily, I will go back every time telling that the kind of study what I did in my early days really helped me out to uh, uh, get that right result. So once again, this is inspired from one of the Western sculptures. It's called silent music. So, but you see it as art as illusion. Is music is there, but it's not there. There is a silence over there. So I wanted to capture that in my sculpture. And this is once again a little dramatic, very filmy kind of a thing, which I wanted to depict here, where she has lost her loved one, and she is totally lost. She doesn't know what to be done in next step. So this is one of the sculpt where I explored body language, or she's lost, she's clueless. What is next? Blank. What do you say? Blank, right? I'm totally blank, I don't know what to do. So I wanted to get that kind of feeling in my sculpture, and started exploring much on 3D printing. This is a 3D printing work where I did for one of my friend, where this is called Murat and Mustafa. It's a battle scene, but once again, it's in very spiral composition. You can, when you see in different angle, it shows in a different way, actually. So it was fun project where I had to learn new technology of 3D printing, because I come from a traditional background. I could create from clay, but here it's a reverse engineering, where I do digital, and then I need to learn how to do for printing. So it was a nice learning curve for me. This is also called hunting spear, where in ZBrush there was a challenge to create from the spear. There's no additional mesh. It's using Sculptis Pro. Everything is created from the spear itself. It's extruded and sculpted from there. So no additional mesh has been used. And this is something very interesting sculpture. I was inspired from Mysore Palace. If you guys have been to Mysore Palace, there's a tiger sculpture there. I was very much inspired, and this title called crossover. So even biggest ferocious animal also gets scared to cross a water. So we all say, right, dar ke aage jeet hai. So we need to overcome our fear, or whether I could do it or not, or I'm not good at it. So we need to overcome, and we need to take that leap, or we need to take that jump. Until unless we don't do that, we won't overcome our weaknesses. So this is what message I wanted to give in this sculpt. So and I was very inspired from very early age. I used to see those sculptures uh, that was done by Britishers, and the technology what they used at that time, the kind of mold and casting what is done, it's phenomenal. If you've been to Mysore, if you've not seen, or if you've seen it, it's well and good. If you've not seen, next time when you are in Mysore Palace, don't forget to see the tiger sculpture. It's beautiful. It's across the palace in the main junctions. So please do see that. It's really great. So over a period, I've been recognized in multiple platforms. I have won a lot of awards. I recently, like a year back, I won Shilpashri Award. I think that was the first time they had given for a digital sculptor. So I have endorsed many anatomy book called Anatomy for 3D Artist, and my work has been showcased in many websites, and interviews been showcased. This is all possible because the passion, the fire inside me, that hey, I need to learn. I need to take this sculpting or the storytelling into the next level. That really helped me out. And moreover, the foundation was very strong. I spent a lot of time, sharpening my foundation. So as a student, why I'm showing all this is because I didn't had any, exposed to much of the technology, or we didn't had that kind of tutorials or nor website. So it was very hard for us. We learned in a very hard way, and you guys are very lucky. You're in the right era where you have all in your fingertips. So make use of it and make use of this kind of sessions, and spend more time learning your, sharpening your foundation. That is very important. Spend some time drawing, or I'm not against to watching social media, but if you're watching, follow a good great artist where you could see a lot of work. And what I do is I have kept a folder of great masters work, or bookmarked certain things. Every day I go see those works so that I get inspired. Like it could be Bernini, or it could be Donatello, or many other sculptors, or Rodin, Henry Moore. So I keep on watching their work, and every time when I see something, I learn something new, because there is a lot of treasure around us. We need to explore it. So spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes watching some artwork, or deep diving to that. It will be really helpful. So let me show you the way I do the blocking or the sculpting, so that you understand the process how I create. So usually till that time, anyone has any questions? Sorry, I've been going on and on. Sir,
Yes, sir.
is there any?
You can continue. We have no questions as of now.
Okay, okay. So if anyone wants to ask anything, please feel free to text here, so that sir will ask me. I can be more, uh, I can give my insight on that one. So as I was telling, right, so I come from a traditional background. So how do we create sculpture in clay? When we do in clay, so we've built armature or a wire first, and then we put a rope, and then we create a volume, and then apply clay on top of it, right? So I also follow something very similar fashion when I do my sculpt. So usually what happens is, I'm sure you all know about mannequin. So it's in a light box. So there is multiple mannequins here. So you could see here there are different mannequins, and if you see here, there is multiple animal mannequins are there. You can use those things as a starting point. It gives you a lot of easy access. See this, I'm sure it be way faster to start. It's like an armature. So usually what I do is I take armature, or it's very easy to pose. I never work in this thing T pose. I always work in asymmetry. So it's a very easy to pose. So I know how do I need posing, how do I pose. So you'll get a rough idea of whether the weight, everything is right or wrong. So it's very easy for us to understand this. So I start with this. So what I do is, recently I was part of Sculptoff, where I had got an invite, for this Sculpt of this year. In 2015, I won a third place. I think I was the first, from India to go there and win an award, and it was a wonderful experience. So they give 3 hours of time, and you need to. They give a subject, and you need to sculpt it in 3 hours. It's a fun this thing. I'm sure you all should uh, put some deadlines like that and start practicing. So that will be very funful. So what I created was, it was a magical theme. So I created a Indian sadhu with magical power. So what I how I started was, like, I took mannequin. So once I was happy with the pose and everything, like I was happy because it was about till torso, so I didn't worried about much doing on the leg. But I'll show you how I started. Once I'm happy with that, so I go and make adaptive squin. So once I do adaptive squin, you'll get like this, something like this, as a starting point. So then there is an IMM brush, where you get a lot of ready elements. So I've got proportions right in this stage itself. It's like, proper proportion, head size, everything is there. I know the I won't go wrong, because it's very nicely done. It's done by Ryan Kingsley, one of the great artists. I recommend you all see his, follow him. He's a master of anatomy. He does a lot of bits and tutorial. He has a school also for sculpting. So it's a nice thing. If you not following, follow him. He shares a lot of tutorial. And there's one more book called Anatomy for Sculptors, where it's a wonderful book where they show how do you simplify anatomy and build complex shapes. So that is also a nice this thing. So what I'm doing is roughly placing that, because I can sculpt it, but it'll from scratch also, on top of the spear, because it's very easy to do that. So what I'm doing is, it's style. Okay. So I'm just adjusting everything so quickly. This I use different process, but I'll show you this process today. And if I have that another file, I would show you the other way of doing it, how I do. So once I've done with that, then I'll take, there is an torso here. I'm doing a male, so quickly I get something way faster to block. So quickly I'll adjust according to the bone point. So it's almost like an anatomy bone point. This is a clavicle bone, sternum muscle, trapezius. So I know that this is a deltoid point. So this is your ribs. So I know this is my rib gauge where I end. This is abdominal thing, and this is external obliques and gluteus. So this is the pelvic bone point. So it's very easy. Like when you have something armature like that, it's way faster, way easier to create. See that I'm with minimal this thing, I'm able to get lot of uh, you know right thing. So I can go ahead and I'll show you furthermore. Any doubts till now, sir? Anyone has any doubt? Want to ask anything? Hello. So once I'm happy with that, so I keep push and pulling. I won't go for sculpting in very last stage. I'll go for sculpt, but I always love to just push and pull and get the shapes and forms. Even for biceps also. Sorry. Okay, it's okay. So what I do is I won't sculpt. I always draw forms or anatomical features easily. I know the biceps, how it goes, or how it should be. It goes under the pectoral muscle. So I'm started getting certain things. So let me do forearm also and show you guys. So I'm not, playing with just basic geometrical shapes itself, where it's easy for me to get the shape right. I don't need to sculpt much here at this point of time. I'm just playing with forms and shapes, so it's very easy to control. Then later, once you get the rhythm of it, it's very easy to you know take the shape and everything. So let me. Sorry, got lost. So I'm trying to get the deltoid. This is the bone structure. This is the thing, deltoid thing. I'm trying to get just basic blocking with simple geometry stuff. I'm able to get certain things. Yeah, I can see that it has polygroup. It's anytime I can reduce, get the thing done. So for me, I'm just playing with just push and pull itself. Right now, I'm not going to sculpt further until unless I get something concrete. So let me reduce the breast size. Scapula, let me get the scapula out here so that it'll be easy for me to, why I'm showing all this, just basic shapes. I'm not doing much here, but when you start, dynamishing it, then you will be able to get a lot of things way easier. I'm quickly trying to show you the result. So right now I'm getting a lot of things blocked here. So once I'm happy, I will go and do dynamish in geometry. So I will keep 1024 so that it'll be easy for me to think. Then just dynamish it from here. Once I've got this, then I use just to build the anatomy shapes, like external muscle. So I'm not worried at this point of time. I'm just putting those landmarks. I know that where all this will come. And your biceps thing, you can create, if you have if you do take your time and do it rightly, you can do all the muscle structure, everything right. in this thing itself, initial stage itself. So it's basically I'm putting clay. So I treat it in that way. I work is as like how a painter does it. I work it in that way. Your lads. See, I am roughly blocking every shape and everything, thigh muscle, all this. So this is how I start playing with it. Once I'm happy with that, let me show you what I do. So sorry. So I sculpt everything like this very roughly. I you know create base form and everything. So right now still I'm not going to spend putting detail and everything. Once I'm happy with that, then I do a quick z remeasure for this, and then once I got here from here, I would have had better geometry now. From here, for me it's very easy to build on top of it. So I work like an layer by layer, like how you do in traditional approach. I do it in that process. And one funful thing is, let me show you in that also. Every time the hand is a very complicated thing. There is an in Lightbox itself. Let me go for that. So there is an hand here. So you every time you can pose however you want, and it has a nice landmark bone structure. So from there it's very easy to roughly dynamesh and sculpt on top of it. Let me show you some quick sculpt this thing. So once your thing, you can start. Oh, sorry. Start doing those landmarks. So make sure that you have on your you know back face masking, because it'll take your other side of the mesh. So quickly I what I do is block out, keeping those bone structure intact, because it gives you as a landmark. So it's very easy to you know get the things right. So with minimal sculpting, you could get a lot of things. Actually, you need not have to sculpt too much. You need to spend I rather spend more time defining the forms, so that it looks real. See, with couple of stroke itself, you would be able to get that uh, you know the right results. So like that, once I've done, I that's how I created this hand also. So for me, I had you know from here I would spend more time polishing, uh, you know subdivide it, then put those landmarks, start go sculpting on top of it, making the anatomically element and structure. So this is not a completed one, but this is how I use my process, more closer to traditional approach, like building like clay on top of it. You put clay, and then you smoothen up, right? This is the same process what I use in my digital thing. And This is, if you see, this is more like a symmetry, but usually when I do a posed one, I do it in that fashion. So let me show you a couple of my other reference. I was talking about a couple of my sculpts. So I was talking about spiral composition, right? If you see from top, this thing, the body is twisted, so it's very dynamically turn around any angle. If you see, it has, you know, anatomically right, and top of that, it gives you the interest. Spiral composition is something, it's a big subject. Usually I do as a subject itself, because there's a lot to learn in spiral composition. So while sculpting, that is very important. So let me show you one more example. So I was talking about this, balance of life. So if you see here, the every angle, the muzzle, see this, the play of light should be very, it should, when the light hits on the surface, it should unveil the shape and form. That's very important. So that's what I always, while sculpting, I always rotate, see from different angle, and it should look believable. And the play of light is very important. So I haven't shown this work, but this is one of my favorite work where, uh, you know uh, if you see here, this is the soul. Everything is manually sculpted. Let me see, I hope it doesn't crash. It's quite heavy file. You could see the soul going, right, the leaving the body, and the soul is traveling to the different world. So I wanted to capture that emotion, grief. If you see that, it's a multiple spiral composition, where the female body is twisted somewhere, the male body is thing, and lot of emotion is happening. And I always love to challenge myself. I don't know how many of you know about panchabhuta. The panchabhuta means in Sanskrit wind, air, water. I love to sculpt those things because it's very tough to sculpt. So I'll show a couple more sculpts of mine which I've done in those fashion. So yeah, this is all spiral composition. This is all done in the pose itself, not by doing T pose and rig it. No, I love to sculpt asymmetry. That's what I really love. So let me show you. Okay, let me minimize this. Let me escape this. Okay, let me show you this. These are few more sculptures. You can follow me on art station. It's called Vichar. So this is the recent work which I did for beta test. If you see this, I have tried to mimic, uh, you know let me open it. Try to mimic every sand and the concrete. This manually created it, a portrait. I don't know how many of you are using ZBrush iPad. So in that, they have come up with new feature for scan. You can scan and bring certain small elements into your work. So these bricks were scanned, but the cement and everything was manually sculpted. So yeah, I have see, this is once again a simple subject, but when the ZBrush for iPad started, right? So I wanted to tell people, dive inside the ZBrush in iPad. It's a fun thing. Wherever you want, you can go, in on spot, you can sculpt. So let me show you one of the video which I did. One of my favorite this thing, sports person. Yeah, I don't know how many. I don't know if sound is. So I went into the stadium, and I was able to sculpt there. So I wanted to dedicate this sculpt to this great master, the god of cricket. So I was sitting in the stadium, and I did this sculpt. So ZBrush, I could sculpt anywhere. So that was the fun part of it. So I love doing low relief, because a low relief is something very tough to sculpt. So that is one of my favorite to sculpt low relief, because with low relief getting liveliness, likeness, it's all quite tough. So these are my few more works, and I would love to show you guys this. So this is not a styrofoam, it's a ZBrush sculpt. So I wanted to mimic styrofoam. So I used to do a lot of sculpture using foams. So you could see that there is a cut. When you sand it, you get the flakes of the foam. So I wanted to mimic realism into the sculpt, and this everything is sculpted. Even the sandpaper is sculpted in ZBrush. I hope I have the tutorial in this. Yeah, this is the kind of detail what it has. You could see that when you cut and everything, how it will behave. Yeah, this is the tutorial. Let me show you guys. So if you want to see that, you could see that this is all done in ZBrush. So if you want to see further, you could see here. So I was talking about water, right? So this is also one of the work for beta test what I did. A rainy day, a paper boat and rainy dreams. So this is all sculpted in ZBrush, even the rainwater. No VFX, nothing. So let me show uh, one of my this thing. So I was talking about Panchabhuta, right? Water and fire, air, wind. So this is one of my sculpture which I did with simple Boolean. I'm sure you all are aware of Boolean process, right? This was done using simple Boolean. So this is the tutorial which I have put it here. So you could see that it's all Boolean. So that's how I was able to get this result. So I'll show you one more. So every droplet or this is called shower on a summer day. So every droplet, I've won a lot of award for this. The droplet and drop is all hand sculpted using ZBrush. So this was the sculpt which I did for ZBrush sculpt off in 3 hours. And here also I was trying to get that water and everything, because everyone used to those days everyone used to use VFX, none used to sculpt it. So I started using those things. And yeah, like I wanted to show something else. So I think when ZBrush came, no one used to use like a clay. So when ZBrush R8 came, I was the first person to use this VDM brush and create like a clay. Now a lot of artists do clay kind of a sculpt. They're quite popular. Initially I was the first beta tester to do something in this line. I think ZBrush Pixology also used it for their promo. So it was a wonderful experience, because as a traditional sculptor I wanted to mimic the clay feel in my sculpt. So wood I've done, let me zoom it so that you could see that. So when you do a wood sculpt, you could see all the chisel, the kind of tool mark. So I was able to mimic, those real elements into my sculptures. And this is also not a painting. This is also a sculpt where I started. I think later people started using ZBrush for digital painting also. So when I did for ZBrush Beta, I did this also. Yeah, there are a lot of this thing. So this is I don't know how many of you know King Jing, one of the best illustrator and artist. He passed away in I wanted to give a tribute. This is a ZBrush sculpt, guys. Just for a few minutes, the video is there. Let me play that. So I wanted to give a tribute because as an artist, when you are recognized by your work, so he was recognized by his work. It's his own drawing. I've used it. It's all sculpted in ZBrush. You could see this. This is a ZBrush sculpt. What I've done, and used Unreal to get that ink feel. Unreal and at a Premiere to get that ink feel because he used to draw and paint. So I wanted to dedicate this in a unique way. It's always pride, right? Everyone wants to be recognized by his by our own artwork. So when he passed away, so many artists was inspired from. I'm one of them where I've inspired from his drawings and a great artist. So if you've not seen his work, please go see his work. It's really great. So these are the few of the thing which I did for 3D printing. So you could see the clay feel. Yeah, this was used for ZBrush video. ZBrush guys had used this because they did micro brush, a macro brush. That time I did this and they had used it for this thing. So it was a fun, full beta work. I really enjoyed doing that. And this is one more 3D print of mine. I did for my friend. This is a 3D print, guys. So yeah, from traditional to digital and going to the traditional where art as illusion and tactileness. So now technology has grown so much where I could bring back my digital sculptures to where I can touch it, feel it. So it was a great experience using new technology and new medium. So these are a couple of work you can have a look at it. So since I was showing, I think you guys only saw one angle, so you could see here the anatomy and everything. So yeah, please feel free to uh, look into this and uh, I'd be more than happy if you have any doubts or questions of
Yes, sir.
seeing my work.
We thank you for demonstrating your portfolio and your experience. So we have some questions coming from students. So
Yes,
one
sir.
question is, how is your way to do research and development?
So usually what I do is first of all, thanks for the nice question. Usually what I do is I always think about a certain subject, and then based on that I always in sculpture terms we'll say maquette. where we do a small before scaling up a sculpture. We do a small maquette. So like that, I already have an idea or the visualization of the pose or anything. Then what I do is quickly come here in ZBrush, use mannequin to get see whether it looks nice or not, and I don't spend much time. Then once I feel that this is nice pose and thing, I'll collect some references, something closer by to that, so that I can get very closer to that, and then start building in the same process. This is how I do research. For me, is the subject is more where when I'm telling something, it should be impactful, and same time, even though it's like when I see a Western sculpture, I don't know much about that. Mythology story or anything. As a spectator, I should enjoy the sculpt also. It's not necessary that everyone understand my story, but as an artwork they should enjoy it. So I make sure that
Sure.
it is catering everyone. So for me, I spend more time on the subject and what I'm trying to say. After that, I start reference collecting and posing, so that it looks nice or not. So that's how I do that.
So, sir, our students also wanted to know that how much time they should spend with the craft on a daily basis.
To be honest, it's been 20 years in animation industry, and I've spent uh, almost roughly 7 8 years in traditional art. Still today, after 12 hours of my office, I spend 4 to 5 hours for myself. So
Oh,
that is the thing, because as a student, never be in stagnant water, always be a flowing water. There is nothing limit. If you love what you're doing, time bond shouldn't be there. You should enjoy the process. If what you're creating, it's like when you're eating something nice, right? You don't say that I will eat only so much. No, right? You will eat a larger portion. Like that, start loving what you're creating. So don't restrict that, I need to spend only 1 hour or 2 hour. Sometimes I spend more than 6 hours in the late night. After coming from office of 12 hours, I sit and do this. All are my personal work, whatever I've done, but I haven't shown you what I do for day to day. Because of NDAs and everything, I cannot show that. But yeah, this is all my personal work. What I've shown you, or what you see in my art station, is all my personal work.
sure, sir. So, students are also asking what is beta testing?
Beta testing is, before they launch a software or a version, what they do is they select a couple of industry people to try out the new tools or new this thing. So we would be testing that, and we'll see what can be done in using this tool, or what is any bugs, or how we can use this tool. So that is what is a beta testing phase. Once that is done, that is where it will be launched for everyone.
Okay, sir. So, we have one more question. Is putting a bone structure first better or sculpting using muscle chunks for better anatomy?
See, until unless you have muscle memory of how the bone structure is, then you can directly do with the muscle system. But that's the reason that mannequin would be very easy to start with,
Okay, sir.
because it has it's in between. Actually, it has bone structure, it has little volume, so it'll help you to build from there.
So, sir, one of the questions coming from student is, sir, how do you see the traditional workflow of making animation or any sort of artwork on a traditional side?
See, don't I don't see any because of the digital traditional thing is gone. No, there are a lot of beautiful clay animations are coming. Lot of mix of traditional and digital has been happening. So even you can take it as a VFX also. It's a traditional way of doing it, right? And now they are using digital. So for me, if I'm not understand wrong, the question, uh, there are people who are doing that. There are people who are doing a very traditional way, Dimant Vyas or Vaibhav
Yeah.
or Suresh. Suresh sir. They all are still doing the traditional this thing, and they are reaching international audience, winning a lot of awards, and very proud that from India, they are
Yes,
torch
sir.
bearing us and leading a path for us. So yeah, there is scope. It's all about we always differentiate that we shouldn't do that. It based on the subject, we should use the medium,
Sure.
that is very important. I hope it answered.
Yeah, 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 sure, sir. So basically, sir, students also wanted to know that a modeling specialization student, when he
Hmm.
makes or she makes her showreel, so what
Hmm.
should be the top five items in the showreel?
See the five elements what I said, right? Shadanga, or right proportion, right this thing. It's not about how detail you can do. It's about how forms and shapes, how the character looks. That is very important as a character artist. If you're applying anywhere, so your portfolio should have those demonstrating that you understand anatomy, you understand shape, volume, you understand the different material through your artwork. Usually, when you see in a gray, you should be able to make out, hey, this is silk cloth, or it's a cotton cloth. Your understanding of anatomy of cloth, that is all very important.
Okay, sir. Understood. So basically, sir, the students also wanted to understand that how should they divide time in a day for traditional anatomy, learning anatomy, and in digital hand practice. So can you give a little bit of guidance on that?
Yeah. So see, uh, y- it'll be always nice as a student. It'll be always nice that you spend more time observation. You develop your eye for aesthetic. That is very important. Observation skill has to be improved. Then once you get that, then it's very easy to mimic that in digital. So going sketching, sitting in bus stand, because every person has different anatomy, or if you're doing for concept, the body gesture. So spend more time on uh, 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 more time, in the sense, I'm not telling that be always there, but whenever you are out, keep a sketchbook, or start train your eyes. Actually, that is very important. Once you understand that, develop your mind drive. I usually say this often, because don't develop your Google Drive, develop your mind drive. If you develop observation and store your in your mind drive, that will really help you while sculpting. So that will help you to fill the blanks. Actually, oh, I'm not able to understand how I'm not getting some reference when the body is turned like this, because if you would have done a lot of sketches, and those things will really help you to fill those blanks.
Sure, sir. I think, sir, we have covered most of the questions, and I really wanted to thank you on behalf of Frameworks and our students and our audience for taking out this invaluable time for this great in-depth session. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir, and wish to bring you again in a fantastic webinar with some different topics.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much once again, Framebox, for doing such a wonderful, session. I wish I had this kind of an opportunity where, we never got an opportunity like this to interact with industry people or people sharing, because those days used to be only books, art books, where it was very hard to, buy and go through that, or tips and tricks.
Sure, sir.
But I'm really, I would love to add this. You guys, the students are very lucky to have, faculty members, and the management thinking, 10 step ahead, and bringing that, industry and students together. So really great initiative. And once again, thank you for inviting me for this session. I hope it was useful. I hope
Yes, sir.
it'll help you to develop your characters or storytelling to the next level. So feel free, anytime you can drop into my art session and see. There's a lot of tutorial, and I think I've shared my Insta thing also. If you have anything, you can drop me a note. Don't mind, I may not immediately respond, but
Sure,
I'll
sir.
make sure that I'll get back. Yeah.
Pleasure, sir. Pleasure having you on this
Thank you.
session, and we look forward for more meetings like that. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your
Thank you.
valuable time.
Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Bye bye.
So, guys, this was a brilliant session by Vishar Bien sir, and we will be conducting these kind of sessions regularly on our channel. So, I request everybody to subscribe the channel and click on the notification so you don't miss any of this industry standard training which happens on a regular basis at Framebox channel. I wish you all the best with today's session, and we will meet soon with another fantastic webinar. Thank you very much.